Dummy, yeah. Yeah. Dummy, yeah. Yeah. Dummy, yeah. Yeah.
Alright, everybody. Now, if you guys haven't been paying attention on SmackDown like I have, the Max Male model faction has somewhat disbanded, with only literally Max Dupree leaving the group earlier around the past two SmackDowns ago, and currently he seems to be fledgling around the mid card ever since, like I guess he's going to. And let's keep it a buck. I don't mind Eli Drake, or what he's now known back to his old NXT name as LA Knight. He has a serviceable talking ability. He has decent catchphrases. Yeah, yeah, he does. That's literally his thing. He calls you a dummy and he says, "Yeah." He he knows how to speak. He has a veteranship in the business. He can get nearly anybody over. Don't know how his mic skills would be portrayed in a public service, depending if they give him much time. And knowing that this is Triple H and LA Knight did come originally from NXT, there could be a possibility that could transition well into him being a decent talker for a heel performance. But besides that, that's the most I got on him. I remember what he did when he was Impact World Champion, when he had Scott Steiner in his group. He had a good stint over on like NWA Power when he was like tag team champs with like James Storm. He had a great promo saying like there's a bunch of men and women that are here to be the best. Promo that was literally the only good thing about it. And then as soon as he came over to NXT, he came just feuding with, I guess, Grayson Waller, and that's literally the only thing about him. He had stagnated feuds over a decent talking a good talking ability, where he could be in like above average upper mid card feuds where possibly he's going to be in for the remainder of his career. Dependent if he turns babyface or not, even though LA Knight does have the ability to get crowd control. But besides that, we understand Triple H is probably going to undervalue that, because anybody that can get over by promos doesn't really sit well with Triple H's quota of being a good worker, knowing that you always have to be just a good worker to advance in the business, even though that doesn't mean that you're remotely over with the crowd. Honestly. Besides that, that's all I got in the matter. I actually am a fan of LA Knight. I like LA Knight. I've watched his career over from TNA to now, so just to know how much I actually paid attention, I actually liked his talking ability. I do feel like he's somewhat overrated over his comparison of having The Rock, all because he has catchphrases that sometimes the fans copy over. Like any other wrestler, don't know why it's only him. He wears Jordans. He always wears nearly the exact same clothing style, and that's practically all there is of his mythos. There's not that much of a over the top caricature of him for me to blow by, but that's practically all my thoughts I have on LA Knight. Uh, and hopefully he does well over on the main roster, especially over his solos feud. I don't know if he's still going to feud with Max Mill models. I don't know what he's focusing now over to this point, because I think he's just been given squash matches at this point, or 50-50 matches so far in his run. Just getting away from the Max Male model faction. I don't know what's going to happen with Mason Mansoor. Hopefully they're still giving work, because I don't mind the Max Male model gimmick, but I just wish it was just more overplayed and they had more segments to actually get groups like that over. Because you have groups like the Judgment Day, you have groups like Street Profits that are not given segments of their own mythos to make me fall in love with the characters, like I did with Crime Time. Or who else? Who else? I guess the Viking Raiders, not the Viking Raiders. Uh, Jesse and Festus, DX, or the Briscoes. You know, given their own world, given their own lives, given how they behave around others, so you can actually see what makes them such an over-the-top character. But we don't get that with groups nowadays. It's either you're just a group with a gimmick, there's nothing else involved with why you act like that, and it just ends up with nobody ever reacting to it, and that's why you don't hear chants or their own like nicknames pasted over by the fans. Hopefully that works out for LA Knight or any other group, and that's not only like the Max Male models, but like the Viking Raiders that are going over this rip-off Northman gimmick or some shit. Or the Street Profits that they still don't turn heels, or I guess that rip-off Eagle Del Nabras faction, La Familia or something, that are feuding with Hit Row. That sucks. I think I already made a Hit Row sucks video or something. Or I'm just confusing that with the Street Profits. Oh wait, because it's the same thing! Besides that, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully you guys continue to give support, share with family, friends, or anybody. That's it for the DSC show. Subscribe for more. That's it for me.